Alright, in this video I'm going to show 15 tips and tricks that are really helpful in ranked and will improve your just overall win-loss and make it way easier to win. So first off, whenever you're the defender, never do this defense. I don't think it's like the generic butterfly defense. I don't think it's good enough. So what I usually do is either do this with the glass like around, or if you have enough iron, you could do a full glass. But I don't suggest doing the generic butterfly defense. And then never, once you do this defense, put 4 endstones in the corner, because it just like screws your team over later in the game. So always put like wool if you need to. If there is ever 4 like endstone in the corner, never like when you're wooding the bed, you always want to mine the endstone. Mine the endstone and replace it with a wood. Don't do like this or like this, because then like what is the point of having the bed wooded? Like there just is not a point. So just do that defense with full wood, and then once you have the full wood defense, you want to get by endstone, put the endstone like this, making it almost like extremely hard to block in. If you're on the bed, you probably won't lose it, and it's just like very helpful to know. My second tip is to always try to go to your diamond gens. I suggest going to diamond gens every like 2 or 3 minutes, because it's just you always want to make sure the other team cannot void your diamonds or fireball them, and you should always try to send the worst player in your team to diamonds. So if you are the worst player in the team, your job will to be going diamonds every 2 or 3 minutes. So do not let your team down. Diamonds are very important. You probably won't win fights if you don't go diamonds, so I suggest going diamonds. Alright, something that's very essential in games that you will need to do a lot if you're going to try to win is fireballing the other team's diamonds. If you aim at the diamond gen and you fireball it, then the diamonds will just disappear because it's a fireball and that's what it does. So always try to like fireball your other team's diamonds, bring up a fireball if you know they have a lot of diamonds in a diamond gen, and just always be aware of how many diamonds you have, how many diamonds they have, and then just try to make a bunch of low bridges to their diamonds. It's very crucial and helpful. Alright, another tip is when you're holding pressure, I would go for the time and not the kills. Holding pressure is just about time and how much you can stall for your teammates to get emeralds and diamonds. If you have a teammate with you holding pressure, you should probably like try to push and clear out the players, but like if you're by yourself, just go for the time. Try to stall them as long as you can, do anything annoying as possible. Try to like maybe like fireball jump around their base, or Hypixel lags you back, and yeah. For the next tip, you should always listen to your teammates who are better than you. So like while in games, if your like teammate who either has like higher elo than you or is better than you tells you to do something, you should probably do it, or like give orders to another teammate to do it. So Corvo, can you go diamonds? Okay. That's a perfect example of your teammate listening. Corvo, can you go get M's? Alright. Corkla, can you wood the bed? Wood the bed, Corkla.
Okay.
Okay. See that's what you should be doing, okay? Alright, my next tip is like to always bring up ladders. You want to try to like get ladders if you know the other team has pressure, and it's also very useful to like ladder clutch. So say like someone's holding, you can just like place ladders and just like kill them. And it's like very easy to get up things. Ladder clutching to low mid makes it so much easier just to get places and not take fall damage. And then you can just collect the emeralds and get back to base and invis them. Alright, so my next tip is say like your teammate's just like invising and then like he walks in the void, like typical Milster move. So you would always want to look in chat whenever you're like respawning to try to split with your teammate, and then you can split the generator and basically dupe the resources. So you always want to try to like every time you die, just look in chat, see if your teammate like died a second or two later, and just try to split the generator every time. Alright, for the next tip and trick, you always want to try to abuse your blocks and just try to flawless the other player while fighting low, mid, and side. So you can like just abuse block placements to outmaneuver them and like try to flawless them. As you see, that worked really well, and I use it all the time, so you should like try to use it a lot. Alright, so a very useful thing to know when you're trying to get beds and like trying to kill people, if you take fall damage, if you take a fall damage tick, the second like you're trying to hit them, they cannot hit you. And it makes it really easy to just flawless people. Alright, my next tip is to always wood the bed early on. Probably like within like 3 to 4 minutes of the game, you want to have your bed fully wooded. Never do wood first layer of, like instead of endstone. They used to do that back in the day, but it's like terrible. It never works out. And just always have your bed wooded before they can just like drop on it and like out diamond you, or just get your bed early on to a stupid reason. Alright, so my next tip and trick is to try to build one under a height limit. It always works out, and you can like make yourself like a little box, and it's harder to get like hit out, and you can win the fight easier, and then you can get pressure and just kill the entire other team. Alright, my next tip and trick is to always try to like shear your opponent away, and then when they're pushing you, you can try to flawless them, and that's like a really good strategy to know, because it's just really easy way to flawless people and get pressure. Alright, another useful thing is with shears, you can just try to like shear your opponent out, and then once they jump over, you can just try to like hit them off into the hole, and it's like really good. If you're ever like on a 1x1 bridge, you can just annoy your opponent, shear them, and they can just never get to you, and then just double hit them. Alright, so another very useful like tip and trick that you should always do while like pushing up top bridge, you should always try to like place blocks behind you so you can't get hit off. It works really well. Just place blocks, they can't hit you off, and you just get rid of pressure really easily. Alright, so another useful tip and trick is hit selecting. It's a PvP mechanic where you wait to hit them until they hit you, so you can like easily double hit people off. You just hold W, and then once they hit you, you W tap and try to double hit them. Alright, so a tip while invising is to always try to bring an axe. Try to make it tier 1 at least, because if you're at your base and you see that they like haven't wood the bed, they could like wood the bed last second, and always try to like bring milk, because they could go diamonds last second. And while invising, want to try to like bait out the guy in the bed. So mine that side and then try to like go to the other side. And then like, it's like a really good method of getting beds and like faking out your opponents, leading you to win the game. Like and subscribe.